Hello friends, welcome to the Soccer. So today I'm bringing you live updates from the Kumasi Sports Stadium. Today is where Black Stars plays against Central African Republic in one of the toughest and important fixtures in the history of Ghana football. You understand the reason why. I think Otuado himself knows that this game is very important. I have Ben with me. Ben, let's break the game down. We're going to start from what we've picked from the pre-match. Otuado was at the pre-match press conference. In summary, what vibe did you leave the pre-match conference with?
It clearly was that of a coach who is happy with his squad after they impressively won away in Bamako against Mali. Ahead of the game against CR, though, the coach will not give out much, and he said so. I mean, he could not give much because of the opponents he's taking on, and that every plan it is he has to keep it till the game itself. But one thing that was clear was that you have the Black Stars team who are very confident in themselves now, full of smiles. For the first time, you saw a Black Stars team train, and most of the players had smiles on their faces. So, all because of that victory out there from Bamako. The team had not won in so many attempts, and so that victory really has done a lot of good to the Black Stars team. No wonder they were full of smiles, yesterday as we watched them train for the last time ahead of the game today. So, that's in summation from what we saw yesterday at training and also with the coach and then Mohamed Kudus, the team confident of getting victory today over CAR.
Yeah, and I think I also, whenever I watch this kind of squad, I've always mentioned that one thing that helps the national team to grow is the friendship that the players need to have. And one thing that a lot of us have forgotten about as emergence group is they are friends.
Yeah.
They were friends, and even outside retirement, you see them most of the times working in groups. And sometimes it helps the team to play together. And I think Otuado also mentioned that the game against Mali, there are some results that brings a group together, and he believed that that results. I think that result has done a lot of good things to even us as supporters, because there was a time we never had belief in the Black Stars, but that's fighting spirit, the ability to play games and in the blink of a moment show up character and win means a lot. But we are playing against an interesting opponent, Central African Republic. Out of nowhere, their coach has managed to be a problem for Ghana. The last time they were here, they lost the game, but he passed the comment that went on to become right. I think he mentioned it in the game. It looks like they are not opponents that we should feel like we have a revenge. We have an unfinished business with them, but the coach has made it look like that.
Absolutely, and that is typical Raul Savoy, the coach of CAR. Like you said, I mean, some few months ago in September of last year, they were here. They lost 2-1, and I recall those statements and the words he used after the game, because in his estimation, they lost because the referees were poor in awarding Ghana the second goal, because for him, in the build-up to that goal, there was an infringement on his player, which was overlooked by the referees. And he said that indeed, if this is how Ghana is going to play against opponents, then our Nations Cup was going to be worse than the last one. And rightly so, we went to the Nations Cup in Ivory Coast. You were there yourself. Yeah. And you saw how woeful the Black Stars turned out to be at the Nations Cup. So that is the man here. And again, listening to him at the pre-match press conference, he was again himself. Very, very annoying, if you
witty,
very witty, very confident in himself and his team. And he even said that he knows for sure that if the refs will be fair in the game today, his team will not lose the game today against Ghana. We asked him why he was saying such things. He said he knows his team. He knows how good they are. They have played so many games in the last 2 years or so. They have scored in every game they have played, whether away or at home. So he knows the sort of team he has at his disposal, and he knows that indeed, even though Ghana has made some changes with a different coach now, but the same players who played against his team some months ago, so he knows for sure they will win. So it's become a difficult fixture for Ghana because of how the last one panned out. Don't forget, even the return encounter in CR, we drew. We could not win that game. Again, Kudu scored in that game out there in that country. So difficult game. But the Stars know that they must win this game to jump to the summit of the group. They seem to have recovered their campaign after the win in Mali, and they cannot afford not to build on it and get a win here in Kumasi against CAR. So I think that from all of that, forget about whatever the coach of Raul Savoy will say, but listening to our team and monitoring them from training their body language, suddenly you see some small
kind of,
and they're all happy. I saw a video of Pate chasing Salis for a ball when training was over. I mean, all these things help, like you said, in team bonding, and that also is key for teams to progress and do well in games. So let's see how things pan out. But I'm very sure that what we are saying is looking positive and good for Ghana.
Yeah, I think I have one of my viewers on YouTube who is a reverend, and he was asking me constantly. Shout out to Reverend. He was like, Dela, are you confident that we'll win? And I said, I'm like 80% sure. And he was like, what have you seen? I don't. Let me ask you to. Maybe he would watch and then he would. How confident are you?
I am confident. I mean, I was one of those who was doubtful when we were going into a game against Mali. I never envisaged a win. I always said that we should not lose a game. We should go out there, aim for a draw.
Yeah.
And that for me would have been good news. I went ahead to win. And that for me has been a big surprise. And it tells me that indeed, perhaps we don't have a bad team. It was perhaps just a case of coaching, not getting it right with how the players should be, pushed out there and tactical disposition and how they must shape up and play. And Otto has given us an indication that the team can indeed improve, can indeed score goals and win. They scored 2 away goals for the first time in so many months. And so that's the reason why some of us are confident that indeed in the game today, even though CR, like you said, are stubborn and can be a tricky opponent, but we are beginning to see some impressive signs around this team with Otto Addo's presence. And so it's the reason why some of us are confident that indeed at least a win, I mean, whichever win it is, whether 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, once we get a win, it's good for Ghana. And so I'm very sure that Ghana can get a win in the game today, all because of Otto's presence, what we are seeing around the team, and then the win from Mali.
So, Reverend Adoyobo, we are all confident. Maybe you are doubting me. Ben is also saying that he's confident that we'll win. Ben, let's talk about the system. Let's talk about how you expect Otuado to arrange his team. You said that you watch the training and it will be difficult to tell from Otuado's training session that these are the players that are going to play. He's a smart coach. You know that the press are around. But how do you want Otuado to set up?
I mean, Otto is a smart coach and he's beginning to show it. One thing I like about Otto is his ability to change even in game.
His in-game management
is fantastic. It is what wins games for coaches. I mean, you can decide and plan everything from the dressing room before the game starts. But when the game starts, sometimes things will not work out for you. So it's your ability as a coach to effect the in-game changes, to change the game. That is what matters most. And we've seen that he has it. Together with his backroom staff, they really have it. And we saw several changes in tactics and approach in the game against Mali. So it's difficult to tell how he will approach this game. I know for sure that in the game against Mali, like he said in the pre-match, it was a tough fixture for his team. So the plan was to not concede. And so he had to push a lot more men into defense and midfield. That's why we had a 3-back, then the wing backs, and then of course Partey, Salis with Kudus, and then Niama. It was supposed to jam the middle of the pack to ensure that the Malians, who are very good in the middle, do not penetrate and get goals. Against CAR, different opposition altogether. We are at home. So it will mean that we have to be the ones to take the game to our opponent. So it is where I think the coach will tweak. And if I was the coach, I would tweak from the 3-back system and revert to a typical 4-4-2. Typical 4-4-2, and of course, play one striker. I say so because of the options we have in attack. I think that let's stick with one striker. It could be Antoine Semenyo because it's shown that...
Like a one-top.
Yes, one-top, and have Kudus play behind him. So that's what I would do. But then the 4 at the back, it could be on the right side, either of Lamte, who was impressive against Mali, or Alidu. Whichever one plays, I have no issue with that one. On the left side, I think it's still going to be Gideon Mensah, but Gideon will have to step up.
I think, not to cut you, I believe, as at this point, Gideon is the only player who doesn't have competition in this area.
That's a problem. For me, it's not good enough. You must have a team that players are competing for every position. So we need to look at that option. If it is, we have to, push one of Lamte, because I know he can play on the left side as well. Let's try, because in the game against Mali, even though we know Gideon is a great player, we didn't see so much from him. It was from his end we considered a goal. He needs to be a bit stronger. Concentration must be very, very high as well in every moment in the game. So that's left side. Defense, I think Salisu together with Jiku comfortable, even though I wish to see a bit of Abdul moment. Because he seems to have something around him. And when he came on against Mali, it was impressive. Midfield, obviously, we don't have options. So Salis will be the man there together with Captain Thomas Partey. But I need to see Thomas Partey do a bit more of what we did in the second half against Mali. Take the ball, drive the team forward a bit. We need to see a bit more from Thomas on that front. On the wings, Nyama scored, so why not have to start Nyama, either on the right or the left. The other wing is where I think Fatau Shahaku, from what he did when he came on, I think Fatau deserves a start because his pressing game for me was on point. So either Fatau Shahaku or Enes Nyama on the flanks, I'm cool. But the coach he has options. It could be Osman Bukai, there could be Kamal Din Suleiman, any of them. One thing I want that coach to do though is to play Jordan on those flanks. No, we don't need Jordan there.
I think Jordan's role now middle.
Forward. If he wants to play him forward, let him be there. Don't push him on the wings to waste, that space and time for us. Then, like I said, Kudus playing behind Semenyo or whoever the coach decides to go as a striker.
That's like super, but I don't know, but I also feel that Otwadu may maintain the system he used. And the reason, I have just reason, because he has not spent a lot of time with the players. He has played a system that has worked for him. Absolutely. He will try and continue with, but not be defensive, because I believe you can still play a 3-back system that will make you more offensive. That means you give more offensive responsibilities to the wing backs, let them go, stay up front. What I don't want him to do is to play Kudus through the middle. Put Kudus on the wings. Let Kudus Nyama stretch and keep Semenyo up front. I think we have enough players. I've always said that when it comes to quality players, we've always had it to make a great squad. So for me, I believe this is going to be an interesting game. But I've always, just as you said, Ghana have always had quality players to win games. It was just a matter of coaching. Ben, we are ending it. If you are pushed, what will be your prediction?
I think that Ghana to win 3-1. I think the CR side will score. They will score a goal here based on their run in the last 2 years. They've scored in every game they've played for the past 2 years. So CR I think will score, but Ghana will score more. So 3-1 win for Ghana.
Yeah, I think Ghana has also struggled to keep clean sheets, so it's obvious that we may concede a goal, but we just have to outscore. 3-1, I believe, should be a good scoreline because you have enough players to cause damage. So, guys, this is our update, quick one for the game. We will be back with more updates. I'm going to go live also before the game starts to give you a lot of highlights on what fans are here doing. So, this is our quick update on the Black Stars and Ghana's game. That's going to happen in Kumasi at exactly 7 p.m. Come here. If you missed it, don't worry. I'm going to give you every content that you need on this platform. So, guys, my name is Elali Frank. On to meet again. Bye-bye for now.